In February 2022, bank accounts were frozen without court orders. Not criminals, not suspects, donors. People who clicked a button on a crowdfunding site woke up locked out of their own money. No hearing, no appeal window. Just a directive under the Emergencies Act. That law also authorizes requisition of fuel, food, and private property. Most people have never read Section 19. I have. I've pulled every publicly available section of the Federal Emergencies Act, cross-referenced provincial emergency management statutes, and built this list around what actually got seized, frozen, or rationed in living memory. Here are 10 countermeasures, each under $100 that put a wall between your household and an emergency order. This is the checklist nobody in Ottawa wants circulating. Number 1, a 30-day deep pantry. You've got 3 to 5 days of groceries in your kitchen right now. That's not a plan. That's a countdown. When Ontario hit panic buying mode in 2020, shelves cleared in 72 hours, not a week. 3 days. Your countermeasure is a rotating 30-day pantry built from stores you already shop at. Rice runs you $10 for 4.5 kilograms at no frills. Oats cost $8 for 2.25 kilograms. Canned protein sits around $2.50 per can. Cooking oil is $7 per liter. You're building to a target of 2,000 kilocalories per day, times 30 days, times every person in your household. You track it, you rotate it, you eat from the back and stock from the front. 30 days isn't hoarding, it's a buffer Ottawa doesn't control. Store, document. No. Number 2, give 15 to 20 liters of stabilized fuel. You've probably got a quarter tank in the driveway right now. That's fine until gas stations lose power or get requisitioned under an emergency order. Your countermeasure is approved jerry cans from Canadian Tire, $25 to $40 each, filled and treated with fuel stabilizer, rotated every season. Most provincial fire codes permit up to 30 liters of residential storage. You stay under the limit, you stay legal, you stay mobile. Fuel you store is fuel they can't redirect. Number 3, hard copy firearms documentation. If you hold a PAL, your records live on an RCMP digital registry. During the 2022 emergency orders, administrative lists drove enforcement, not warrants, lists. Your countermeasure is paper. You print every license, every registration certificate, every acquisition record. You file it separately from the originals. You store a copy off-site. Paper doesn't need a server. Paper doesn't freeze. Store, document, no. Number 4, a $500 to $1,000 cash float. You tap your card for everything. So does everyone else. When accounts froze in 2022, there was no withdrawal window, no grace period, just a locked screen. Your countermeasure is small bills, hidden in your home, rotated quarterly so you're never sitting on damaged or outdated currency. $500 covers roughly 2 weeks of essentials at inflated emergency pricing. $1,000 gives you a month of leverage. Cash is the only asset that works when the system doesn't. Number 5, a 90-day over-the-counter medication stockpile. You buy Tylenol when you need Tylenol. That's how everyone does it. In 2022, acetaminophen was rationed at Ontario pharmacies due to supply chain compression. Your countermeasure is a 90-day supply of acetaminophen, ibuprofen, antihistamines, electrolyte powder, and wound care basics. You can build the entire kit for under $75 at Shoppers Drug Mart or any pharmacy chain. A pharmacy is a convenience. A stockpile is a system. Number 6, this is the one most people skip, and it's the one that matters most when the grid drops: a dual fuel generator or a solar charging kit. In 1998, the ice storm across Quebec and Ontario left 1.4 million households without power for up to 5 weeks. Not days, weeks, minus 20 Celsius, no heat, no light, no communication. Your countermeasure has 2 layers. Layer 1 is a dual fuel generator, a $400 to $800 at Princess Auto or Canadian Tire. Dual fuel means it runs on gasoline or propane. So when one source gets requisitioned or runs dry, you switch. You need to know your consumption rate. A typical 3,500 watt generator burns roughly 4 liters per hour at half load. That means your 20 liters of stored fuel gives you about 5 hours of runtime. You ration it, heat and communication first. Everything else is luxury. Layer 2 is your failsafe. A 100-watt portable solar panel kit runs $150 to $300 and charges batteries, phones, radios, and medical devices indefinitely. No fuel, no grid, no permission required. If they requisition the fuel, the sun still works. Number 7. Here's where the list gets uncomfortable, and that's exactly why you need to pay attention. Tampons and maxi pads. Every prep list ignores them. Every real disruption proves that wrong. Hygiene products vanish first in prolonged emergencies because demand is constant, supply is fragile, and nobody stocks them in advance. Your countermeasure is bulk packs from any grocery chain, sealed in dry storage. But here's the second function most people don't know. Individually wrapped tampons and pads are sterile, high absorbency, and compact. They're documented in wilderness first aid curricula as wound packing material. Dual use, barter commodity and trauma supply in the same package. The most embarrassing item on this list is the one your neighbors will beg for. Number 8. Legal literacy. You can't challenge what you can't cite. The Emergencies Act isn't a secret document. It's public. But almost nobody reads it, which means almost nobody knows that Section 19 requires parliamentary confirmation within 7 days of invocation. It means almost nobody knows that Section 48 establishes compensation provisions for requisitioned property, and it means almost nobody knows that provincial emergency management acts vary wildly. Alberta's framework gives different powers than Ontario's. Quebec operates under its own civil law structure. Your countermeasure is reading the act yourself and noting 3 things: the 7-day parliamentary confirmation clock, the compensation provisions under Section 48, and your own province's emergency statute. Write them down. Keep them accessible. A law you've read is a law you can fight. Store, document, no. Number 9. A basic hand tool cache. Your cordless drill is useless when the battery's dead, the grid's down, and your generator fuel is rationed. After the 2021 BC floods, hand tool owners cleared debris while their neighbors waited for municipal crews. After the 2024 Calgary hailstorms, the same pattern repeated. Your countermeasure is an axe, a bow saw, a pry bar, and a wrench set. $60 to $120 total from Home Hardware or Princess Auto. No batteries, no fuel, no dependency. An axe doesn't need a charge. Number 10. Vacuum-sealed sugar, salt, and instant coffee. Forget precious metals. Silver requires a trust infrastructure that collapses before you ever need to barter. Your countermeasure is commodities that every human wants, every day, in every crisis. White sugar, table salt, instant coffee. All 3 cost under $20 total from Dollarama or Walmart. Vacuum seal them, and they last indefinitely. During Argentina's 2001 economic collapse, coffee and sugar held more consistent trade value than silver by weight in neighborhood barter networks. That's not theory, that's field data. Silver is theory. Coffee is currency. Here's what you've just built. 30 days of caloric independence. Evacuation fuel the grid doesn't control. Paper documentation, no server can erase. A cash float, no directive can freeze. Medical autonomy, no supply chain can interrupt. Energy independence with a solar failsafe. Barter commodities with dual-use trauma capability. Legal knowledge that transforms you from a subject into a citizen. Mechanical tools that work without permission. And a barter library with an indefinite shelf life. The total cost for everything on this list sits between $800 and $2,000. That's less than a single mortgage payment for most households, and it puts a wall between your family and every emergency order that could come down tomorrow. You're not going to do all 10 this week. That's fine. Pick 3. Start with the pantry, the cash float, and the legal literacy. Those 3 cost you under $600 and 3 hours of reading. Then build from there. The point isn't perfection. The point is that you are now the person on your street who's read the act, built the buffer, and doesn't depend on a system that can be switched off. Store. Document. Know. Which province are you in, and have you read your Emergency Management Act? Drop your province below. I'll tell you which section covers property requisition.